What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Level With You show. You have reached level 32. My name is Wiley Olmstead. Thank you all for joining us today. As always, today I am joined by Anthony Dort.
I can't find a 6 IV Ditto.
And Kenny Castro.
I enjoy my beer.
Very nice. I see you got the Mad Elf. Feeling festive. Feeling
It's that time of the year.
fruity.
Yeah,
There's what, cherries and honey in that?
Yes, it is actually. I enjoy the. They have a special edition of this one that's been aged in whiskey barrels.
Right. Don't they call it the Grand Cru or something version?
I don't know. Actually, I forgot what it was. I had it one time and I was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Hell yeah.
But I picked it up at the table and fine, so I might pick it up again.
Yeah. And what was it, in a 750? Like a bigger bottle?
Yes, a bigger bottle,
Okay.
one of the taller ones.
Gotcha. Cool. And the man with the plan behind the cam, we have Tyler Hadley, as always, joining us.
Hey, everybody.
You should make that your cam girl tagline. I'm the man with the plan behind the cam, girl.
All right.
You never see me.
One of my
best.
many nicknames for Tyler. All right.
Cam girl?
If you're joining us live on Facebook this week, thank you. You can also catch the video on demand Wednesdays on YouTube, as well as podcast services if you want the audio-only version. If you'd like to leave us a comment asking us a question, Kenny Castro will read it to us, and we'll probably get to it at some point throughout the show. You also can feel free to leave a comment in the YouTube video, and we'll feature you on next week's show. If you could subscribe, that would be great. Leave us a nice review, either on a podcast service or
Otherwise,
in your local newspaper. So yeah, what's been going on, guys? How's your week going?
I completed the Pokedex, so that's been pretty great.
Oh
It's
yes.
very. No, thank you. It's great. You know, I am the best. But I'm still working on the rank. You know, I'm very scared. So I've been trying to find spent the whole past weekend just pretty much playing Pokemon and trying to get a Ditto, which I can't find.
Didn't you just get one?
I just got one, but I didn't check the IVs yet because I didn't want to spoil it and I didn't want to be all pissed off for the podcast.
Gotcha. Okay.
Perfect.
I want to wait. Yeah, I got to see if hopefully this one will be because I caught 2 5-stars today and they only had 4 IVs. I need 6.
Man, I wonder how many people out there know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes. Why am I doing this? I just spent 150 hours on the game. Why do I keep doing this to myself? And then I'm like, because I want to play. I'd lied with people, and then I'm like.
I mean, what do you think percentage of people that are playing online are actually getting into the nitty gritty like that?
I don't know. That's a good question. There's probably I know there's the people that go to the tournaments and stuff. But
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Are you going to be going to the tournament?
Probably not. No. I don't know why I'm spending this much time. I think
Come on, do
it's
it.
a mental thing.
Let's
I mean,
go.
that'd be fun. I'd go.
Represent Level With You.
That's true.
I'd be down to go with it.
Yeah.
Split
All
the
right.
prize pool 4 ways.
I like that. Hey, I'll be
Reinvest it back into the show.
I'll do it.
Yeah. How about you, Kenny? How's your week going?
It's been going good.
Yeah.
No complaints except for my Saints got beat by 2 points.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Saturday.
That was a rough game.
In a shootout.
I
A
know.
complete shootout.
It
No
was like 90 points in that game.
94 points.
Dang.
So what's your reasoning for being a Saints fan, if you don't mind me asking?
Honestly, I really wasn't into football like that. And around, 06, I think when they drafted Reggie Bush, I was like, wow, this kid is amazing. I saw the college highlights, I'm like, all right, he's going to the Saints. And I was like, oh, Drew Brees, I don't know who this guy is, seems like he had some falling out, shoulder surgery, all that stuff. After that first season, I was like, wow, I kind of liked how they run this offense. It's real air raid, passing the ball a lot, airing it out. And I like how Drew Brees was undersized. So I was like, okay, I could go behind them, black and gold. Nobody really had really high hopes for this team. So
Okay, so you just genuinely liked them and became a fan, not because of where they come from, but because you just dug the style. I can dig that. Okay.
That's why I like the Miami Dolphins. I love the color of their jerseys.
What is it, like turquoise and
Turquoise and
orange?
bright orange. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's all right.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's up purple too. Is purple part of it? Or no, that's Vikings. That's purple and yellow.
Yeah, that's Vikings.
I don't know.
Probably another team with purple.
yeah, the Ravens.
Oh, yeah, there we
I'm
go.
colorblind. So is it purple with the Ravens?
It's
Yeah,
purple.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a second. Is that dark blue or purple?
Could be both. Mauve? No, mauve's red, right? No, purple. Mauve. The Mauve Avenger.
Mauve. It's like the cooler maroon. I don't know.
Drew Brees also sounds like he could have his own deodorant or some kind of
Because he's breezy, baby.
Yeah. You
Oh,
smell
true
good.
that. Yeah, I mean, as soon as Michael Jordan retires from the Hanes,
Yeah. You just
hit up Drew
Drew
Brees.
Breezies.
Yeah, Drew Breezies.
I'd wear that.
What about you, Tyler? Anything going on in your world worth mentioning before we get into the games?
Not a whole lot. Just a lot of level with you type stuff.
Yep.
Hung out with each of you over the weekend on 3 different days.
Yeah, we spread each other out. It was good.
That was pretty interesting.
Yep.
And so far this week's going by pretty slow work-wise. But here we are.
Yeah, I mean, so on Sunday I came over here, wrote out my top 10 games of the year. You'll be seeing that video go up in the next couple of weeks. And what were you doing here on? You were Saturday?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah, I had the Saturday shift. Woke up pretty early, came over, did my time. We did some marketing stuff. We did a couple. I worked on a promotional ad for something that we have upcoming.
Can't we mention it?
So, I think it's getting close. Yeah, the Smash Bros. Turbo. Yeah, because we have the thing up already on the website. Yeah. But did some promotional graphics for the Smash tournament. So I'm gonna see some posters around, put it online, try to get some physical forms, maybe print out and slap them some places.
Sounds good.
And then watch. What do we do? Tyler made some bomb tacos, and then I immediately made hot brown rain in his toilet for like 45 minutes. I came down. I thought I was done. I went right back up. I was like, nope, gotta go. We're playing Smash Bros. So I think I was getting so into it. It was intense. My stomach was just like, all right, we need to digest all the stuff to give you the energy, and then just digest it too quickly, so I had to digest it out of my system.
Thanks for the steamy details.
Hey, no problem. It was very steamy. Thank God your bathroom is a fan. Oh my God. But it's very comfortable.
I got the poopery up there.
You do have the poopery. I didn't use it. I'm sorry. I used the little spray because I was just like, I thought poopery looks like something you just rub it out of your clothes. But
and Kenny, what'd you do on Friday?
So my Friday shift intended of like drinking and Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right. Yeah,
we did some talking about the things we were gonna do.
So more of a team building exercise.
It was like morale. We were like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. But I want a medium boneless wings.
They did trust falls in the restaurant. They're like, all right, Tyler, trust me.
Yeah.
Catch me.
Yeah, because we did do the trust fall because Tyler's like, I never had the street taco at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, you gotta try it.
Had the what?
The street tacos.
Oh, they have street tacos at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yes, that's exactly the same reaction he had.
Ooh.
And I was like, they're good. But then I ordered them, and I was like, grab one, please. He grabbed one. He ate it. What did you think, Tyler?
Oh yeah, they were great. They're really good.
Really good, huh?
Yeah.
Better than Frontera's?
Okay, and so what, a street taco? Is that just a soft taco? Like...
Yeah, just a small soft taco with
like chicken and some pico.
So just a hipster word thrown into a corporate ass restaurant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Frontera's got real good street tacos.
And I fucks with it though.
Yeah, I'll have to try it.
I get that, my medium boneless, and I'm off to go.
Okay.
What ruined Buffalo Wild Wings for me is when they took away the build your own burger.
It's
bullshit.
So we already got a question roll in.
Oh, okay.
Right off rip.
Hell yeah.
So RJ Miranda asks, who will win in a Mortal Kombat tournament?
I'm going to say it'd be a toss-up right now. I think I've been playing it more so recently than you.
Oh, my God.
And I think the last time we played, it was maybe, I don't know, I won 45% of them, 40% of them, something like that.
Yeah, that's a decent percentage.
I mean, I think if we trained and we had some... preparation, and it wasn't just thrown on me right now. Like you're gonna wheel it out.
Somebody wheeled in a big AV, like Tyler had been like, all right, I've been setting this up for weeks. We get the monitor. I already got a second PlayStation all set up to surprise Wiley. We're having to throw down right now, and he just wheels it out.
Yeah,
or he has Diener come down the stairs, and wheel it out.
Question: so Wiley in talks with that. Diener, bring in the TV.
No, I mean it's a good question. I mean it's a good something that we should do sometime.
Yeah, I think definitely we could go live stream with it for the followers.
Okay,
we could maybe go on Facebook with it.
Maybe so.
I'll go random ends up Sub-Zero. I'll try both. See what characters I land with, and if I'm losing in the best of 7, I'll go resort to Sub-Zero.
Okay, sounds good. I will keep that in mind, and I'll.
All right. I think we should kind of cruise through what we've been playing so that we can get right into all the news that's come out today.
There's been quite a bit of news happening. You're right, Tyler. Thank you for keeping us on task. I know you don't like when we mention Mortal Kombat.
Tyler cringe. You be like, let's move on.
I think I'd win though because I didn't win a single match that I fought against Wiley when we played at your house. But I think I have a pretty good shot of winning a tournament.
Okay,
you wouldn't make
not
it
following your logic.
we set a tournament. I just set the tournament Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, and I'd be like, "Oh, Wiley, I guess it's just me and you." Anthony couldn't make it.
He's too hungover. Sorry, still sleeping.
As Saturdays go.
Oh God, yeah.
All right. So what I've been playing, and I know what Kenny's been playing on Xbox Game Pass Game of the Week, My Friend Pedro.
Yes.
So this is a 2D action platformer, emphasis on the action. You can slow down time at any time by clicking L3 on the stick. Very stylized, going for that whole Matrix vibe with your backflips and your wall jumps and your aiming in one direction and aiming in another direction with the other handgun. Looks very cool, kind of a lo-fi 2.5D aesthetic. I played through the whole thing. It was about 5 hours.
Nice.
Wow.
And I thought it did a really good job of breaking up the gameplay with some interesting set-piece levels. It's a small spoiler here, but there are some vehicles. I don't know if you've gotten to that yet.
So I did. That fight with the butcher is the first fight with the butcher, that mini boss.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're in the motorcycle when he's in the butcher truck.
And doesn't it feel good?
It felt right. I was thrown off. I thought every set piece was gonna just be like, traversing through, like just up and down, rolling. And then I'm like, wait a second, I'm fighting while in this motorcycle. I'm like, this feels dope.
Yeah, the motors, like just the fact that they throw in for 1 or 2 levels. Yeah, now you're doing everything on a motorcycle, and it feels good and it looks cool and just breaks things up in a nice way. Later on, there's another vehicle. I won't say what it is. It's a little bit. It allows for some cool experimentation.
Okay.
And the story, I think it's trying to go for a little bit of a Hotline Miami thing with its like,
are you schizophrenic? Are you not schizophrenic? Is this banana real?
yes, literally.
It gave me like, I haven't played the game. I watched a little bit of gameplay, but it gave me like a big Trials HD kind of vibe, just the way of the perspective. So it looked a little interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that. I mean, definitely from a.
Probably controls a lot better though.
I actually have never played a Trials game.
Neither have I. I've only looked at them.
Yeah, I mean, they look very
Big
frustrating.
poser.
But that's My Friend Pedro. You can get it for free if you got Game Pass. I highly recommend checking it out if you are in that ecosystem. Like I said, like super stylish, good time. You can grind for high scores if you really get into it. You get C, B, A, and S ranks. What are you finding most of your rankings are?
C's, man.
I'm getting a lot of C's.
Because you know what? I feel as though a lot of it comes down to speed. And I'm not going that fast. I'm kind of like reloading, and then I'm like, okay, so who's ahead of me? Okay, this is how I'm gonna jump in there. So I'm kind of thinking of before I jump in, and I feel as though it's meant for you to just go in guns blazing, jump, focus, shoot at everything, and then just figure it out from there.
Yeah, and get combos because you get kill combos. I think my highest was 29.
Look at that.
And that was pretty good.
He seems like a very speed runner, like oriented.
Yeah,
like
so
once you beat it once, kind of go back and be like,
I'm definitely trying to speed it up. I think I got 1B, and that one I went kind of fast through it. But then again, I also had gotten the double Uzis at that point in time. So
okay, so yeah, I think the game has 40 levels. You said?
Yes.
That sounded about right. I think I got B's on maybe 12 of them, the rest C's, and then I got 1 S, which was, I guess, on one of the set piece levels where it's kind of hard to screw up, but still felt good. Speaking of Game Pass, there's another one I checked out, and it also involves riding a bike, Lonely Mountain Downhill. Did you get a chance to check this one out at all?
Actually, I was looking for it. For some reason, I felt like I couldn't find it, but then again, I was looking at like 2 in the morning.
Okay.
So I really was exhausted, so I might have passed it like 5 times while looking.
Gotcha.
And not installed it.
So I first heard about this one on the Game Informer show several weeks ago, and I decided to try it out. And you're essentially riding a mountain bike down a hill, although you would expect it to be behind the back since you're going down this rough terrain and there's all these curves around, but it's sort of an isometric camera, so that makes crashes more frequent, but it also sort of makes the gameplay what it is. You're trying to balance whether or not you're speeding up or whether you're kind of like going down the hill as fast as you can, or you're being cautious and making sure you don't wipe. Each time you do a level for the first time, you're just exploring, just to kind of get a feel for it, and then you're trying to beat your own time, and there's checkpoints along the way. It's very realistic in terms of falling. If you go off a jump that's 7 feet and you hit a rock at the wrong angle, you're gonna fall. and it's just really kind of relaxing and fun to play. I don't think there's much of a soundtrack. There's just nice nature sounds. Each level sort of seems based on seasons. Like I got to the second mountain out of 4 in the game, and it's very fall. There's lots of oranges and yellows, and I'm digging it. Like it's definitely a game to play once you maybe are a little tired of jumping around and shooting people in My Friend Pedro. You just want to relax and still enjoy the gameplay. I wrote that it kind of gave me Death Stranding vibes because you're really just getting from point A to point B, and your only enemy, or at least there are some enemies in Death Stranding, but the main one is the environment. And I kind of had missed that because, you know, I'm going through Death Stranding withdrawal because I spent 3 weeks playing nothing but that, and I loved it. And now I'm just, and this is scratching that itch just a little bit.
Do you think they'll put DLC onto Death Stranding to give you a little?
I doubt it. I don't know. I think they probably would have said something.
Yeah, they didn't really do any DLC for like Metal Gear Solid 5, right? Or 4 even?
That's a good point. I don't think there has ever been Metal Gear DLC.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Spooky.
So you, speaking of Game Pass, you finished up Remnant from the Ashes.
Yes. Frustratingly I did.
Okay.
Because the last boss, they don't really tell you what to do. You know, like of course it wouldn't just be go do this, but it was kind of frustrating, like to see this huge health bar and you're shooting at the last boss and in his second phase, because you go through the first phase, you take him down in the first phase, he goes into a second phase, and you're like, wait a second, like I'm shooting at him and I'm doing 100 damage with this shot, so I'm not critting, and it's not going anywhere. Like, so then I'm being transported into this other realm. I didn't realize it until, you know, I did look it up a little bit. And even then, at first, while looking it up, that still didn't help me to really beat it. Like, we tried this last fight 10 times before really getting it.
Okay, well, I mean,
we had to maximize really our loadout to really take this guy down. Like, we had to use a specific mod that we saw one guy use that was mowing down the last boss. And once we got through it, it felt so satisfying to take him down, because I was like, wow, like this was the one boss, except for another 2 of them out of all the bosses we had fought so far in this game, that really frustrated us to this point where I was like, I'm putting this game down for a bit.
Damn.
Like, I need to take a break.
Okay. So overall, did you think it was a good game, great game?
I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it to the point where, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, there's still like 2 or 3 bosses I haven't fought. So, you know, we're thinking about re-rolling the campaign to see, you know, on a harder difficulty, see if we bump into those bosses and take them down. The hardest boss in the game we didn't fight, so I'm looking forward to try and fight him.
So there's optional bosses. Are they still accessible from the world that you from your playthrough, or do you need to do the re-roll campaign thing?
You would have to re-roll campaign, because it's based on the hardest boss is based on a decision you make in the campaign. So once you make that decision, you can't go back on it.
Okay.
So it's most likely anybody that's played the game is the Undying King. So he is the hardest boss in the game. I've seen some.
That's very Dark Souls-y.
I've seen a lot of the rankings of bosses in the game, and that is almost always number 1.
Okay. How many bosses does the game have?
Wow. I personally ran into, you know, because if you count some of the encounters where like you gotta survive as boss fights, you know, they got a good chunk. I want to say upwards of more than 15.
Okay, that's legit. Yeah, especially for a $40 game that was put on Game Pass a few months later. From the developers of Darksiders 3, and this came out just shortly after that. It seemed like it got a lot of positive reactions, so good on you. And Anthony, we got to do our weekly check-in here.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
so Doc, give me the news.
Make it quick. Give me the Pokemon.
Oof, nothing quick about 400 Pokemon, my friend. Completed the decks. All set this
we already
week.
gave you an applause for that.
Thank you.
You're not getting
I like hearing it again. I did that. I've been working on breeding for competitive, so I'm trying to find, as I mentioned in the beginning, my 6 IV or best IV Ditto, and you can get one. You just have to continually spam this one raid den, looking for a purple beam that comes up from one of the Pokemon dens where you spawn max raids. And the long and short of it is you kind of just got to keep shutting the game off right before it saves, hoping you don't corrupt your save file. And if you have the text speed on slower, you can exit out and make sure you don't do that. But yeah, just pretty much doing that and then fighting them, catching them, because you don't know what IVs they have till you catch them. And
okay. So I was amazed. I was asking this guy, have you actually played online? He's played it for 150 hours. He's completed the Pokédex. His answer is no, because he's a big scaredy cat.
I'm a big scaredy cat till I get my 6 IV Ditto, and then I'm going to start breeding, and then it's going to be another 200 hours, and then I'll be ready with my team.
Okay.
Not 200, but I mean, you got to breed, and it takes like 30-something eggs to get like a perfect IV.
This is intense, man. I mean, I'm also playing Pokemon. I've got 5 out of the 8 badges. I'm almost 20 hours in. My Pokemon are in their 30s and 40s as far as levels go. I'm having fun, but
we'll get you there.
It's very simple where I am. It sounds ridiculously complicated where you are.
It's really not. It's kind of just more mundane and tedious. It's just like, because it's cool. I wish I had more story or more stuff to go do like in the game to, kind of be like, okay, well, I can just keep doing all of this, stuff that I want to do, like the random tedious breeding. And thank God for the wild area though, because like I think that's honestly what is keeping me playing the game, because that's all my time. Like all my time is spent, because you can hatch your eggs anywhere if you pick them up from the daycare, and there's also a daycare right in the wild area. And while I'm in there, I can go around, collect my watts, get random items. That's how I'm actually getting most of my money, is because you can get the watts that you earn from either raid battles or finding a Pokemon or whatever. Talk to one of the guys that are out in the field, the watt traders. If you find one, and it's not guaranteed every day, but if you find one that's selling luxury balls for about 100 watts a piece, get those, buy as many as you can afford with your watts, go back to any Poke Center, sell them at the mart. It's the highest selling item. I sold 990 of those, and then I got about, I think it was like $1 million Poké from doing that.
What?
So that's how I've been grinding money. So I'm up to 5 million right now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because then I'm gonna go back, blow all that cash on proteins, HP ups, and all that to give to my Pokemon to have their EVs. I mean, I could fight random Pokemon that yield those EVs when they faint, but this is just easier to buy it. Just to buy the supplements, because I can just give it to them.
He's possessed by the Pokemon.
By the Poke Demons.
Yes. Well, glad to hear that you're getting into it, and I look forward to hearing about your progress each week.
I'll let you know when I go online. I'll make sure I send a text to the group before I do.
Yeah, that'll be
I can put my feet in the water.
Breaking news. Speaking of breaking news, it's the time of the show where we get into what's been happening into the video game universe. Take it away, Tyler. Cruising for news. Cruising for news, and the part of the show where we read back the news that's on these pages. And it's a good thing we record the show on Tuesdays, because a lot of stuff happened earlier in the morning. We had a Sony State of Play. We had a Nintendo Indie Direct. And so we're going to talk about those. But first of all, we have to talk about the new BioShock game that was announced in sort of a strangely unceremonious way on a 2K's Twitter. So 2K has announced a new BioShock game. It's officially in the works from an internal studio, Cloud Chamber. However, don't expect this game in the near future. Cloud Chamber is a new studio with locations in both Novato, California, and Montreal, Quebec, headed by Kelly Gilmore, who has worked on 2K's games for nearly 2 decades on Sid Meier's Civilization and XCOM. Speaking to IGN over email, Gilmore said that the team is at the earlier end of our process when asked how far along development was. Gilmore also declined to say whether this new BioShock would function as a direct sequel or a reboot, instead calling the project the next iteration in the BioShock franchise. He also declined to comment on whether the new BioShock would introduce a new cityscape as its setting or feature returns to Rapture or Columbia, saying that we hope that fans love our plans for this environment. That said, it'll be a bit of a wait for more details, as the game will be in development for several years. Gilmore did confirm that original BioShock creative director Ken Levine is not affiliated with Cloud Chamber, nor is he involved with the studio's development process. Gilmore did, however, speak to the existing BioShock pedigree at Cloud Chamber, which includes Hoagie de la Plante.
Hoagie? That's awesome.
As creative director, after previously working on BioShock 1 and 2. Scott Sinclair as art director, a role Sinclair had on both BioShock and BioShock Infinite. And Jonathan Pelling as design director, after working previously as the art team creative director on BioShock Infinite. So there's not really any details. Clearly it's going to be a next-gen game. I don't know why they felt the need to come out and announce this. I mean, I'm stoked for it. BioShock 1 is one of the best games of this century. But, so yeah, what's your guys' take?
I've never been like super into BioShock. I like the games a lot. I still have to beat Infinite. I've only heard amazing things about it. Plus Elizabeth is super hot. But I don't know why they didn't announce it this early. It's just kind of like, I think it's like what Square did with the Final Fantasy VII remake. They announced it like super early when they had like 2 CGI cutscenes done.
Right.
And like a very, very early alpha build. But
it just seems like, why do it this way when you could do it at a press event and get all this hype once you have some footage to show?
Wait till E3 next year or something.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll take it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like I said, I think the rumors have been there about the BioShock game being in
you were
production.
okay. True.
So I think it's just like, okay, the rumors are there. I think everybody
They just wanted to quell.
kind of knows it. So let's just tell them like it's
like,
in
yes,
production.
we're doing it. Okay, stop asking. Probably just getting sick of like having to lie to their families.
Yeah, probably. They're throwing the carrot out, dangling it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's still pretty high up there, but
that's a good point. They're like, yeah, don't expect this anytime soon, bitches. No, you ain't gonna get a look at this for a long time.
Even though craziness, I was going through more of Jason Schreier's tweets in recent, like within the last 24 hours in regards to the BioShock reveal, and he says that from his sources, this iteration of BioShock right now that they're working on has been in production since 2017.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
No JPEG to show or anything, like no logo.
So I'm like, hey, like I said, Jason Schreier got a lot of good sources, so maybe he's on to he's right about it.
What do you call a game after Infinite?
I was just thinking that. It's like, what's more than Infinite?
Plus one.
Infinite squared.
Well, I think they could I think they're gonna be rebooting it. I definitely understand that the Infinite part of that name was the lighthouse. And the lighthouse at the end, like how.
Yeah, I got real confused at the end. I had to watch some explanation videos.
Yeah, I watched explanation videos like 5 times, but I honestly think the concept that they went with it at the end was amazing.
It was cool.
It was definitely cool. To kind of bring it full circle that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it. So I think the reboot, I'm excited for. Definitely excited for.
Did you prefer 1 or Infinite?
So I never actually beat 1 or 2.
Oh, I never even played 2. I beat 1 and loved it.
And Infinite got close to the end and got rid of my 360 and never beat it before getting rid of my 360.
Oh, bummer.
Yep. So I've been dying to get the collection.
It's on sale all the time.
All the time. So
yeah.
I'm wanting to pick it up just so I could beat it. But then I'm like, that's adding 3 games to my backlog.
True that. Yeah, it's like, oh man.
Backlog.
Yeah. I plan on getting that eventually too, just to have it on my shelf.
Yep.
But because I'd rather have that one physical, because whatever.
And plus, that cover for the collection is kind of dope with the lighthouse.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
sick.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes down and it's wrapped around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Fun fact, the guy, the art director, I'm not sure if it was this guy or another guy, who basically, he created Elizabeth, had a full-out public statement, was like, please stop drawing porn of my character. Like, please stop doing that.
Did he really?
He's like, there's so much porn of Elizabeth that please stop making porn of her. And everyone's like, no, we're not going to do that. Sorry.
Rule 32,
34, baby.
34.
Rule 34. Don't look it up. don't go there.
Does that mean that you can
unless you want to?
You can make porn out of
anything.
Okay.
Anything and everything can be porn.
Gotcha.
Rule 34, baby.
That is.
And then Rule 63.
Get away with all those parodies. I guess it's Rule 34.
Exactly. So that's how Weird Al gets all of his albums out. It's under the parody clause.
Gotcha. Oh, It all makes sense now. Yeah. That's why Blizzard isn't out there suing Pornhub for all their work.
Yeah. I know all the source filmmaker, just Blizzard or not Blizzard, Overwatch. I've seen so much Overwatch porn. Oh my god, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. It's like half of Pornhub now. It's crazy.
I mean, you can
man.
find Pokemon porn, find sexy Pokemon all over the internet.
I don't like this as much as big as it is.
This is
it's
a
like,
show for kids. It's on YouTube.
I don't like Pokemon porn. We gotta evoke for Kappa.
Yeah, it's
gotta coppa that out.
Not a show for kids.
Moving on to our next story, we had
I'm not a damn furry. You guys remember that video?
A Sony State of Play this morning started at 9:00 Eastern Time. And I'm not going to go over everything, but we are going to go over the sort of things that we thought were notable. The major thing, which leaked, we discussed it last week, Resident Evil got revealed. Resident Evil 3, the remake. I predicted it would come out as a surprise January or February release. It ended up being April 3rd, which is right around that corner. And I thought they did a super cool thing. They were showing some Project Resistance, which is the 4v1 so we're PvP game, and they said, and now to show you some of the campaign of Project Resistance. And I'm like, damn, what the hell? They're making another Resident Evil campaign in addition to 3. And so you're watching, and then you realize that it is 3, and you're like, oh shit! So it's actually gonna have a fully fledged multiplayer and the games coming out in April. Well done, Capcom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Capcom's bringing it back.
Oh, they already brought that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They've been killing it since.
They had a hand in the remake too, right? Or two's remake.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, that's been it's in their engine. It's their in-house team. They've ever since Resident Evil 7, we've got Monster Hunter World, we've got
Devil May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry 5, we've got Resident Evil 2.
I still want to play 5.
And a lot of great remakes, like re-releases, I should say, like the Mega Man collection and.
The X anniversary, they did all that.
Can't wait for Capcom to get the ball rolling with a good Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, thank God, please.
Well, that was before their hot streak. That was right before they took off.
So now they gotta take it off during the hot streak.
And they gotta put it back on.
Right.
Yeah, well,
get it right.
The last one was called Infinite, so they're screwed. No, I'm just kidding.
They're gonna go take a page from Bioshock, and they'll be like, "Well, what are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know.
They call it
this.
the Bioshock.
The Bioshock, the Marvel versus Capcom,
the Marvel versus Capcom." I don't know.
With the D at the beginning, you change a lot.
the Marvel versus Capcom, the Marvel.
So, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Are you stoked for this? I mean, you guys didn't even play 2, though, did you?
No.
Oh yeah, you guys are a bunch of scaredy cats.
I am a bunch of scaredy cats.
Right. Okay. So I'm the only one here that can play a horror game. That's great. Yeah.
Well, I'm stoked for the Project Resistance because everybody knows how much I love those games where you got to survive.
Okay, where it's just one you against one big bad.
Well, it's 4 of us against one big bad.
So Left 4 Dead, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. It'll be fun. I'll be playing that.
Cool.
Hopefully you guys join me online with that.
And it took long enough, more like 5 or 6 years, but we finally got a release date for Dreams. And this game has been in early access on the PlayStation Store, super low key, for $29.99 for many months now. There's been a lot of games that have been shown. There's a lot of really impressive shit out there. If you want to look up videos on YouTube of Dreams, it's a game where you essentially are given the tools to make an extremely detailed game of pretty much any genre. Extremely impressive. It's coming out on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
And I don't think you can buy the $29.99 version anymore. It's going to be a full retail release, I assume, for $60. If you did buy the $29.99 version, you get the game. So I was like, oh, darn, I should have done that. But
Is pretty much everything in the game, when it comes out, going to be in the $29.99 version? Are they just upping the price?
Well, they also are going to have their own campaign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like a Mario Maker, in a way.
Sort of. Yeah, well, it's the same concept as a Mario Maker, except for you're given it's vastly more complicated, and you can make a lot more than just a Mario game.
Okay.
You can straight up, people have remade Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, wow.
You are a game dev.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The whole game was made within the engine that their game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. Okay. It's interesting because it's like when I buy RPG Maker on sale for Steam, and I'm like, oh, I'll make all these games, and it's like, I don't want to make any games.
So this is something that's been kicking around Sony's press conferences for years. Like I think it was announced in 2015 or maybe even 14 or something. Like it's been a long ass time. It was on the Game Informer cover back like 3 years ago.
Oh, isn't that the one they announced Conquer for? They're like, Conquer's back in Project Dream, and it's like, well, back, but I'm not a real game.
That's not ringing a bell.
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something different, but I know there was like a Conquer. It might have been like the failed Xbox one, the Microsoft one. But
so I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very cool. Am I going to jump into it? Probably not. It seems like a very big commitment to jump into something like this and try and learn how to use all the tools, develop a game.
Exactly what I don't date.
It's very interesting. I mean,
but we can play the games and then talk about them. That's our thing, right?
Yeah, we could. We could just find a bunch of different Dream games and then play those.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that I hope that it catches on as a good streaming game and, oh, look what I found now type of thing. Because there's infinite potential for cool discoverabilities. I hope they make it more intuitive than Super Mario Maker 2, where you're able to a little bit more easily follow creators and, I don't know, have menus and full-fledged games rather than just, one
ease of
level.
access.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Untitled Goose Game coming to PS4 on December 17th. That's what led off the State of Play. And then later on in the day, Xbox Game Pass tweeted that it's coming to Game Pass. So if you got both, I'd wait. We got a first look at the new Platinum joint called Babylon's Fall. Looked like a pretty typical platinum stuff.
Oh yeah, looked a lot like Astral Chain.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where's Bayonetta 3 at. I mean, they've been working on that for a long time now, and yeah. So we actually do have some Bayonetta related news later on in the show. And then what else we got? Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC. We got to look at the trailer, which I guess leaked a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it was officially released a few days ago.
All right, take it away. The floor is yours.
Where?
The video itself, the Kingdom Hearts trailer, just kind of showcased all the different characters you'd be able to play as. For the first time, we're able to actually traverse the world where you fight
Kala something. Was it Skara? Cal?
Yeah, whatever
the last part where you walk in for, like, it looks beautiful. It's shown in the opening, and you walk 2 feet into it at the very end of the game, and then you fight the last boss there. It doesn't let you explore it at all except during the fight. Skala ad Kalem. Yep. That's what it is.
Yeah, so that looks really cool.
Yeah, I was super stoked to see that.
Traverse that area, see what that was all about.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, I mean, you kind of get some of that in Dream Drop. No,
you don't get any of Skala Kalem.
Why is it called Rewind?
That's a good question.
Remind.
Oh, is it Remind?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So my understanding that I would, if I'm theorizing why they're calling it Remind, from the trailer, Sora's going back and kind of almost reliving the other characters' moments in part 3 and kind of witnessing it to kind of reconnect the hearts, his connection to the hearts. And so he's trying to get Kairi. So if you play the game at the end,
Don't spoil the ending, dude.
well, everybody's played it.
Have you played it?
No, they haven't. Don't spoil the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. That came out this year.
Something bad happens, and then Sora's like, I'm going to be a good boy and go fix it.
Here in the trailer, Sora's trying to get Kairi.
Okay.
To do that, he has to go through all these events in part 3 to reconnect the hearts and his way to get to her.
Okay.
All right. So I'm most excited is to play as the other characters because you're showcased that you'll be able to play as Kairi, you'll be able to play as Roxas,
Axel, Xion.
And you only played as Sora in the past?
Yes.
You get to play as Riku for, like, Spurst a couple times in 3. And 2 was awesome because in the final boss fight of 2, you got to, like, if you did this weird sequence of, if you hit this certain attack pattern in the last boss, he, like, binds Sora, the guy you've been playing as the whole game, and then Riku's there fighting with you for the first time ever, and you're like, oh my god, and then the camera shifts over, and behind your back, to Riku's back, and you're, like, playing as Riku, and he only has, like, 2 or 3 commands. He can, like, jump, attack, and then, like, one other thing, but it's just, I was like, oh, that's so cool. But in 3, you could he has his own little list of spells and everything. Even though it was for, like, one fight, it was pretty cool. Yeah. And you could play as Aqua, too, I think, for that one part when she fights.
Yeah, I think so.
What's his name? The bad black Sora. Vanitas. Yeah.
All right.
I hope it's more than just one fight, though. I hope it's like.
But then they keep on teasing the Rex, whatever his name, Verum Rex character.
Mm-hmm.
And how much is this DLC going to cost?
They didn't say.
They didn't say what they're going to do with it.
But there was a breakdown on the website. I was trying to remember what the breakdown said, but it did say that there is, I want to say, 9 secret battles being included with the DLC.
Wow.
It's a good amount of battles. I'll take it.
Because at the beginning, they showed the secret boss of the 3rd game, but that was it, because that's the only optional fight.
What, in
3? Yeah.
That's not the only optional fight.
There's that one. What's the other one?
There's a bunch of them.
Oh, no, because you have to go back and do the...
There's like 13 optional battles.
Oh, wow.
I want to say.
In 3?
In 3, yeah.
Because that's when you hit those little orbs, right?
Yeah, so you got to go... Each one of those orbs is an optional battle in 3. So you have to you got to defeat all of them heading up to that last one.
That's right, yep.
Inferno, I want to say.
Guy with the fire Hot Wheels on his, and he's got the swords, yeah.
And so, from my understanding, I haven't fought him, but
he's a cake. If you're playing it on, like, even if you're playing it on Proud, he's cake. It took me, like... And I didn't really... It sucked because it wasn't really doing much planning and strategy, but I knew that at that point I just grind the whole game. I went back and did everything to get the ultimate weapon. So I got that, and then I went and I died like 4 or 5 times at first, and then I went and like my 6th or 7th try, I was able to just...
I really wanted to kind of get the ultimate weapon and then head back and...
It's such a slog.
And replay it on Critical.
Yeah, that was a good thing about Critical, how you could just get all your... That was nice. Yeah. But it was a slog. That was probably my worst part about Kingdom Hearts 3 was trying to get the ultimate weapon.
That's always the worst part of Kingdom
Hearts.
It is.
Even 2, I don't remember being that bad. 3, I just remember sitting there being like, this sucks. Like all those stupid Flan minigames, those were horrible. Those took me at least... Because I went and I did them all in one sitting. Or no. Yeah, because I had done a couple, maybe 2 I passed. but then you have to get a high score for a bunch of them. And it took me literally, I think maybe 4 or 5 hours to do all of those.
Dang.
It's crazy.
Moving on to the next story. Nintendo also had a press conference of its, or not a press conference, a direct internet type style thing. Shouldn't call it that. Where they showcased a bunch of indies. And we're not going to go over every single one. There were quite a few. These are the ones that we felt were most notable. So they started off the story with a sequel to, or started off the video with a sequel to Golf Story called Sports Story. It's an exclusive to Switch.
Yeah, I really like how they presented it because they showed you that it was Golf Story. Showed the guy hitting a golf ball and traversing the neighborhood and stuff like that. But then it presented like other, like a tennis racket and a soccer ball. I'm like, oh, what are they doing here? Is it Golf Story 2? Is it?
Yeah, it threw me off because it was the trailer. I didn't even know there was a Golf Story 1, but like I thought it was gonna cut when he was like shooting the golf ball into the tennis court, and I was like, oh, it's gonna cut to like another scene or something, and then it kept going, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it was giving me did you guys ever play any of the Mario Superstar Tennis on Game Boy Advance or like the golf one?
Yep.
Now it's like, it's the guys that made Golden Sun. It's like an RPG but also tennis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. Check it out. It's a really cool, like, underrated hidden gem for the Game Boy Advance. But it gave me a lot of those vibes, so I definitely like, this is a sports game that I want to play, which is weird.
Is Golden Sun available on anything that's not Game Boy Advance?
Used to be on the eShop, and now that's like
used to be on 3DS. That sucks.
Is it on 3DS? I don't know if it's on 3DS. It was on the Wii U and the Wii. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Oh, definitely the Wii U because of the gamepad. A lot of really good Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, I remember being blown away by that as a kid. Golden Sun, the first one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So what else do we see? We got Streets of Rage 4. Looks quick beautiful. Look at that. Looks really cool. A sequel to the infamous beat 'em up games from the early 90s, which were in arcades and Genesis, right?
Yep.
Were they on Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo had one of them, I think.
Okay.
Streets of Fury? No. Fatal Fury? No.
Google
Definitely
it.
Streets of Rage on Super Nintendo.
So yeah, looking forward to that one. The date we didn't get. A lot of very vague dates. That was kind of the thing. It was like sometime in 2020.
First quarter
2020. Quarter 2020.
First half.
We did get a month for the following one though, Super Mash, which Tyler especially thought looked really cool, and I kind of didn't get a chance to watch the entire presentation, but I made sure to skim through that after he had mentioned it. It's like,
see, a game like this is something that I probably won't pick up Dreams, but I'll pick up something like this, so I can I can mix a JRPG with a platformer, or I can mix a racing game with a
stealth action game.
right.
Yeah.
See, so the premise of the game, I guess, is there's two different genres. You mix them up, and then it sort of creates a game. It has to be a preset game, though, right? Because I don't know if
they probably use preset assets. They probably have a bunch of assets that they're like, okay, so JRPG, we have character 1, 2, and 3, and then we have environment 1, 2, and 3 with the set battle style, and then they mash it with I don't know if a platformer was the one they showed off. So it's probably the same or similar stages in the platformer, and then it's probably just asset swaps, kind of thrown in procedurally generated.
Because then later in the video they talked about and once you get into the game, you're going to unlock developer cards.
Yeah,
and then you use these cards probably to manipulate whatever games you're playing.
The dev card, and then at the end it showed you in a nice really kind of stylized 3D shop. It looked like you were worked at a game store or were selling games, and people are like, I want to play something that's like this and this genre put together. So I'm guessing that's the hub world you start in, and then you make the games through that and play them. But it looks I definitely agree. It looks awesome.
Yeah, that was a cool surprise, and I don't know if they mentioned if it was coming to other systems or not. I would assume so. I don't think they mentioned that it was an exclusive, but a cool reveal regardless.
Definitely a very interesting concept.
Dauntless, the hit cross-play PS4, Xbox One Monster Hunter-like, is now available on the Nintendo Switch. Epic Games is the developer, probably a separate team than Fortnite, but it's got that sort of look to it. I know we jumped into it. We tried to jump into it. There's a stupid video up on the channel about us trying to get connected.
Best video, I gotta say. Best 10 out of 10.
You guys ever play it?
I played it for a little bit, and it was funny because it was still in the beta on the PS4, and the whole intro scene had my character off screen, and then he would flash in screen, and then he was inside the ship, and then he was outside the ship, and then he'd flash in, and it was just his head. It was really weird. It was really buggy, but it was fun.
Okay.
I played for a couple hunts, and I was like, this would definitely be a lot more fun with friends. And then I think we just went and played Monster Hunter the next day, so I was like, that's kind of scratching my itch.
It totally would be something I'd be into, because as somebody that enjoyed Monster Hunter, that finished the campaign, I never quite got to that level of understanding all the systems, and if it was a little bit more accessible, I would be more likely to
download it when you get home. I'm down to play.
Okay, sounds good. And then I'm going to skip ahead quite a bit in the presentation. There are other videos. I'd recommend checking it out. I don't want to go over every single one with you guys, but Axiom Verge 2 was the big one more thing at the end of the presentation. Axiom Verge 1 was a Metroidvania platformer that came out, I want to say 2017, maybe 2016, to critical acclaim. The guy, Tom Happ, I believe is his name, is the sole creator, did all the music, everything. Took him several years. The game is really good. It's easy to get lost, which was something that was a little frustrating to me. But as far as 8-bit Metroid games, style Metroid games go, it had tremendous particle effects. It had really interesting weapons, lots of secrets to find. This one looks like maybe a little bit more of a SNES Genesis type of look. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of the transition that the Messenger makes. Spoilers for the Messenger. But yeah, so looking forward to Axiom Verge 2. That was a nice surprise. A sequel to one of those indie games that you don't expect, sort of like, what's that one? Spelunky 2, which we're still waiting on more information for.
There was that other indie game too that was very Hollow Knight-esque.
Hollow Knight. Oh yes, what was that one called?
The sword and something slicer.
What was it called? No.
Sword. Oh, glowstone. Glimestone.
Gleam light.
Gleamfall.
Gleamstone. Gleam Forge.
There was also a game that reminded us of Hollow Knight. And what I was hoping for, and what this one website like totally teased was, and I guess a lot of people were expecting, is that we were going to finally get a release date for Hollow Knight Silk Song, the follow-up to the brilliant 2017 Hollow Knight. That did not happen. I was sad.
Yeah, a little disappointing. But take your time, Team Cherry. Make another masterpiece. All right, moving on from the two, whatever you call them, not press conferences. We're moving on to a tweet from Xbox that says no more away games. What do they mean by that, Kenny?
So, that will be posted a tweet saying that in conjunction with Sony, they agreed to push out MLB The Show into more platforms, not just as a Sony exclusive. So that opens it up for the Xbox, which Xbox has not had a dedicated baseball game on its platform.
For a long time.
For a very long time.
Yes.
And I feel as though this has been where Sony kills Microsoft in the sports department, because the show, as much as I don't enjoy it, is a very, very good game. Like, it's an amazing sports game.
And a very big seller as well.
Yes, it is.
I know a lot of people that, I know a few people that mentioned me like, oh yeah, I got the PlayStation because it has the show. I don't know how much of a system seller is, and I know that this was something that I think Sony, they wanted this. They want the game to reach a bigger audience.
Yep.
They're sort of doing the Microsoft approach with, sure, we want Minecraft on everything.
Exactly.
And maybe they just did the math. They're like, if we sell this many more copies, maybe we're going to lose a few system sellers or a few system sales along the way. But, this should be thought of as the same way that 2K is thought of, same way that Madden is thought of. And, we still own the studio, and I think that it's a smart move for them. And I know you mentioned Xbox, but apparently Nintendo Switch's account also tweeted out a baseball.
Yep.
So you can get it portable, and
yeah, it's going to be portable on the Switch, and I think it's going to come for the Switch and the Xbox, which is amazing. Big thing for PlayStation, big thing for the MLB The Show. I think that's also generates money for the MLB, so of course they wanted it as well. Yeah,
definitely. And it always felt off to me that there was just I was so mad at EA when they took away the rights from, or they bought exclusive NFL rights and they couldn't make EA or the 2K5s anymore, or because NFL 2K5, which is the famous one that was $19.99 and was coming at Madden's throat, all right, we're just as good as you, we're 1/3 of the price, and that year I think sold, if not as much, nearly as much, when it usually had been such a wide margin. So, and then EA stepped in. They're like, nah, NFL, we got to talk. These guys are creeping up on our turf, and we can't have that. How many millions of dollars do you want? So
it's called Gleamlight. It's called Gleamlight.
Anthony's like, yeah, they're talking about sports.
Yeah, it's just like, don't forget the name, and I forgot it once I had to look at my phone.
So definitely excited for this. I think I'll jump into it, see how good I can get at it.
Speaking of Xbox news, some reporting from Jason Schreier came in over the weekend. It's essentially saying that there are going to be 2 versions of the next Xbox at launch, sort of like there are currently with the S and the X, but that is not usually the case right off the bat when a generation starts. So in June, Microsoft announced Project Scarlet, a new iteration of the Xbox that the company said would set a new bar for console power, speed, and performance. What Microsoft didn't say is that it is also working on a lower cost, diskless version of Scarlet, codenamed Lockhart, according to 4 people briefed on the company's plans. If those names sound familiar, that's because they've been floating around for a while. The earliest rumors about Microsoft's next-gen roadmap, circa 2018, suggested that Project Scarlet would consist of 2 Xbox models, the high-performance Anaconda and the lower-end Lockhart. In June, however, Microsoft announced that Scarlet was a single high-end console, which led to speculation and then press reports that Lockhart had been canceled. But Kotaku has learned that Lockhart is in fact still in the works as a cheaper, digital-only alternative to Scarlet, as the original rumors suggested. All right, a lot of words here. What we don't know, and what likely isn't finalized yet, is how the pricing will shake out, but it's easier to think of Anaconda as a successor to the Xbox One X and Lockhart as a successor to the Xbox One S, with a similar performance disparity. Game developers will be expected to support both Anaconda and Lockhart, which some are worried might hamper their ambitions for next-gen games in the coming years. That was my first reaction. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but let's see. I heard somewhere that, okay, I think it's later on in this story here. When speaking to Kotaku, one game developer briefed on Lockhart, I hate that word.
Analogized.
Thank you. To the different PlayStation 4 Pro in terms of raw graphical power, although there are other key differences that might make up for that. Lockhart is said to have a solid state drive, like both Anaconda and Sony's upcoming PS5, which is expected to have a significant impact on loading time. And then it later says, Microsoft's ideal target performances are said to be 4K and 60 frames per second on Anaconda and 1440p resolution with 60 frames per second on Lockhart. So, interesting that out of the gate they're going to have 2 different models, it looks like. I do wonder if a little bit it might, if they have to make games for both of them, if developers might feel like they need to make it work well enough on on the Lockhart. I hope PlayStation doesn't do this. I know that Xbox really wants to be the most powerful, and that's why we're kind of having this like, who's going to go first as far as releasing specs goes for next gen. But yeah, I mean, for us, clearly we would get the Anaconda. I do think that there is an audience out there that might go for the Lockhart if it was significantly lower priced. If it's like $100, I think the Anaconda would still be the bigger seller, just if the power is that much of a jump as from the S to the X. But I mean, like, look at it as that we have right now. The X retails still for $499. You can find it a lot cheaper than that, and the S is it $199?
Wow.
Yeah, it's literally
that's a big drop.
Yeah, it's more than twice as much. So if it's similar to that, I can see both being as like viable consumer options. But I don't know. Anybody else have any thoughts?
I mean, in my opinion, it's always been like, if you're gonna buy it, just get the biggest. Like, I don't. It's not, just get more expensive,
package.
but like if you're gonna be playing games for a lot, yeah, exactly. The bigger package, you get the better package. But I know that's obviously not feasible to a lot of people. Yeah.
But I mean, is there going to be the backlash like you had about Apple with the no headphone jack without the disc drive?
Yeah, that is very annoying, I will say, because it's just like there's a headphone jack, but it's a Bluetooth. It's like for the charger, so you have to or Bluetooth.
I don't think we'll see a backlash about it.
As long as there's a disc one available. If there was no disc one available, there would be.
Yeah,
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But Anaconda's gonna have the disc drive. Lockhart, like most likely is saying, is that it's gonna be the digital only. Which is understandable. They're gonna make it the lower price one.
Yeah.
Maybe at $200.
They come out with a next gen game at $200.
$250 something. They're not gonna put it that high. I'd say $300.
I'm saying 3 and 5. Yeah,
3 and 5. I don't think, because what was that PS4 when it dropped? 5?
4. But the X, they're not going to make it less than the X, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things they've acknowledged is that their price points for their consoles is one of the things that made them lose the console battle this year.
One of them, and the Kinect, that was part of the reason why it needed to be in there. And they're just the whole terrible 2013 E3 where it has to always be online. Look at all the TV stuff. Yeah.
What was it? The Xbox One, when it first dropped, what was it, 600 with the Kinect?
Oh God, yeah, it was expensive.
It was super expensive.
It was like 550, I think.
Yeah,
500, 550.
Yeah.
Maybe.
With the
Yeah.
Kinect, yep.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see. My prediction is both consoles are going to be $499, which I think which is fair. I mean, inflation and all that, power, gotta pay people, all that type of stuff. Moving on to a very sad story. Redbox no longer offering game rentals.
Didn't we talk about that in one of the previous weeks? They were like debating on it, or like they're starting to like wean it out.
This is good.
How's it good?
For all you thieves I see on Let Go and Facebook Marketplace. Redbox games you stole. You thieves. When I go to rent a game, I don't want to find a blank CD in there. I want the game.
Has that happened to you?
Yes, it has.
Holy shit.
And I had to call Redbox and be like, listen, I'm putting the game back in. I need you to give me a free rental.
Did they do it?
Yeah.
I'm good. Probably most of the people trying to sell it too. They don't even peel the Redbox sticker off.
No, they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Or they try to, and it's like the paper.
So sometimes I'm a troll, so I sit there and I'm like, "You really? You're gonna resell a Redbox game?" And they'll be like, "Hop off my post if you're not gonna buy it." I'm like, "Fuck that! Fuck that! I had to buy this game." Most likely.
What are people doing? Buying it with a credit card that they're just their grandma's credit card or some shit? I don't know.
I've heard of people. I was somebody that does it. Unfortunately, I know one person that does it, and I look down on them every single time.
What's his strategy? Because aren't they getting charged $60?
No. So his strategy is, he actually is able to peel. He's been able to peel. He's perfected peeling off that sticker.
Okay. Come work for me. I got a whole bunch of wafer stickers that need to be peeled off of my job.
And has placed it on like blank discs and put it back in.
Wow. Okay, so he's going the whole 9.
Yep.
He's doing like shit that Leonardo DiCaprio was doing in Catch Me If You Can with the envelopes.
But then the worst part is that, right? He's doing it. And he's acting. He's calling Redbox and being like, yo, like, I got scammed.
Wow.
The scammer doing the scamming. Wow.
Okay.
Double dipping.
No, that is.
Double dipper.
I admire the ambition of that. Like
that's like.
But so he doesn't do it every game. So he does it for games.
Oh, okay.
That he wants.
That he's iffy about. Like, I think he did it for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I remember it. He was like, I want that game. I don't want to buy it full price. And I was like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna rent it? He was like, I'm a Redboxer.
I'm gonna do the old switcheroo.
And I was like,
I'm gonna do the 1-2 switch.
but for the other people that actually like sit there, like he's not reselling on Let Go, but these dudes that do it and resell it on Let Go and on Facebook Marketplace with the Redbox sticker still on it, I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
That's legit, man. That's how I got it. Yeah, it's because you got it from Redbox.
Exactly. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you'd think that would be a little easier to catch.
And actually, I've witnessed some person trying to trade in a Redbox game to GameStop while I was there.
Oh my god.
And I had to hold in the laughter.
What the guy said?
Burst in laughter. Like the guy looked at him like, this is a Redbox game. Like, we can't take this.
Oh, how'd that get in there? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you serious? I lost the case. It's my game. Like,
yeah, okay. All right, then it's not Nintendo 64 cartridges anymore.
Like, you fucking liar. Get the fuck out. I'm trying to find my controller.
That reminds me of, that's like just going to the effort of peeling all the stickers off a Rubik's Cube and then putting the right colors on the right side. They're like, why would you do that?
That's genius.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's the only way I can complete one, Anthony.
That's the same here, but I mean, and I took a class on that in college.
Did you really?
I did. That was like a cop-out math class that I needed to pass.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, do a Rubik's Cube and algorithms, and I was like, this is dumb.
My sister actually got really good at it. I don't know how.
That's cool.
I don't know if she still can or not, but
my cousin can do it really quickly.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching, which you probably aren't. So that was essentially it. The company's trademark rental kiosks have been handy way to rent physical copies of games, but if you relied on them, they're permanently phasing out, blah, blah, blah.
So steal the games now.
So how
they phase them out.
pretty much the only way you can rent games these days is GameFly. Yeah, which is. Have you ever looked at one of their Facebook posts and then looked at all the comments?
Oh God, no.
They're really funny. They do really good like clapback answers to people that are like talking shit. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll check that out.
Like somebody say like, you're on borrowed time, and they'll just be like, and what's your point?
You still renting them, boy?
Yeah.
Everybody's going with the Wendy's approach to clapbacks on social media.
Definitely. That's definitely, and like, yeah, finding a way to be sassy in a way that your fan base is going to be like, okay, they're just like me, except funny. Yeah.
It's true. I'm gonna run from them now.
They just gotta drop a mixtape like Wendy's did.
Oh my God!
Dropped a mixtape.
You didn't know this?
No.
What?
I don't follow Wendy's on Twitter, unfortunately.
It's been out for a year now. It's dropped on like Apple Music. I listened to this mixtape.
Is it just a bunch of noise, like people eating noise?
No, like some chick, coming at McDonald's and everybody else.
Oh, like your beef's frozen and shit like that?
Yes.
How many songs are on said album?
4 or 5.
That's really good for
so more of an EP.
And it's an EP, but it's a mixtape EP,
Wow.
Wendy's.
Okay, I'll check it out. Did Burger King have a diss track in response or nothing?
No, nobody
Everybody's scared?
Everybody's scared of Wendy's. Wendy's got the clapbacks.
I know where you guys are such big fans.
The last CD or last album that dropped from a fast food store that I listened to was the Yu-Gi-Oh one that dropped at McDonald's years ago, and they got the music to duel by. Oh my God, glorious!
Amazing. I'm gonna have to look on eBay for that so I can just be ready when I show up to work with the.
It's so bad. If you ever get a chance, look up music to duel by. You won't be disappointed.
Okay,
I gotta look it up. It might be on Spotify.
I think it actually might be on Spotify.
Nice.
It's on YouTube, I think.
I'm leaving here while playing that.
Well, you're playing what?
I'm gonna play that today.
The Wendy's?
I'm
yourself
gonna
hyped?
try and see if it's on Spotify.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I'll drop a track.
Let's stop at Wendy's on the way home. Get that 2 for $5.
That's
Boot up
exactly
the
what my
playlist.
plan
just,
was.
like in front of the computer, like, yeah.
Right.
I love your Wendy's.
All right, our final feel-good story of the week. A new remaster has been announced. 10 years after their original debut, Bayonetta and Sam Gideon return once more in the Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th anniversary bundle on PlayStation 4. We're thrilled to finally bring the frantic action and unrelenting style of Platinum Games' flagship titles to life in 4K at 60 FPS on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I should note, I copied and pasted this from the PlayStation blog. I don't know if it's on other systems or not. Shit.
But it was a PlayStation exclusive at first, right?
It was at first, but now, Bayonetta's on the Wii.
So it may drop PlayStation first exclusively and then spread out.
Maybe so. But we know how special Bayonetta and Vanquish are to fans, and that's why it's important. They're also an important part of Sega's history. So we wanted to go big for their 10th anniversary. That's why we're happy to announce the physical release of this with a cool steelbook, brand new cover art for both games, produced by Weapons Van, supervised by Bayonetta director Hideki Kamiya and Sega. So this is cool.
Yeah.
You guys play these games?
I tried playing on Bayonetta.
Yeah, I actually only played Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U just because it got such rave reviews. It was one of the ones I picked up once I bought Wii U cheap off of a friend.
Good
and
call.
It's such a good game. Oh my God.
Bayonetta's great.
It had some of the most incredible set pieces of levels that were literally like making
Set
my
pieces,
jaw drop.
yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I get you, Wiley. It had some great set pieces. No, it did.
No, okay.
No, it was good.
Nice double entendre, I guess. I don't get it.
Her clothes are her hair.
Oh,
Or her
true.
hairs are clothes.
Her hair
I
is
think,
her clothes.
yeah.
That's only when you're doing a power up.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some definitely. She's a controversial character.
I like her big bun she has at the top of her head. It's pretty cool.
No,
What's inside of it?
so
More hair.
I played Vanquish as a PS3 game. I did not get very far in that one. I liked it. It was pretty challenging. For some reason I bounced off. If I played it now, I feel like I'd probably get farther in it because I'm like pro gamer level now.
Pro Wiley.
Yeah.
Season that.
So this is a tempting purchase for me. $39.99 is the price. Probably go on sale shortly after
What's
that.
Vanquish? I don't. For some reason, I'm not like.
Vanquish is a action game with heavy emphasis on sliding around and shooting and smoking cigarettes to regain your health.
Ooh,
Nice.
that sounds rad.
Yeah, it's very like I don't know. The visuals remind me of maybe a Metal Gear Solid 2 type of vibe. Super cheesy story. over-the-top action, a la is typical of Platinum. So yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. It's cool. It's a cool remaster. Hopefully, it turns out good. All right, that was a big news week for the first time in several episodes. That's going to bring us close to the end of our show, unless we have anything to add.
No questions this week. It's looking like
no questions this week. Wah wah. Oh well. Next time. Next time.
Wah wah. Oh well.
All right. Well, if you were watching live, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, also thank you very much. And if you're listening on podcast services, thank you a little bit.
Very much.
Not just a little bit. You're the real MVPs.
Yes, you're the real MVPs. You're the real MVPs.
The Madden God gives you guys a shout out. Challenge me. I need new people to beat down into the ground. Let me know.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this week's show. That was the Level With You show, Level 24. We'll see you next Tuesday or Wednesday on demand. Bye.
I completed the Pokédex. I did it.